Alright, let's get going. Pygmalion's Loft. Don't... Ugh. So what I was about to say is don't give me any of the infinite tools. Just don't do it. Because I don't really want to have to go down that line. Marbles, every 4 seconds, load 2 small items for 2 seconds. When you use an adjacent item, charge this 2 seconds. I'd like to do a version of the infinite where I'm not using the matchbook. Go for marbles and then try and pick up proboscis? That could be fun. Holiday's here as well. Ganjo and succulents. I'm gonna go for the marbles. Fine. But I don't want to use the matchbook as the payoff, but also... Whoa. Okay, Curio, give me the proboscis right now. Put your money where your mouth is, nerd. How much am I willing to gamble on a proboscis right now? I'll buy Feather. Sundra, every 4 seconds, deal 5 damage. Your enemy's shield items lose 5 shield for the fight. Admittedly, that's actually probably a significantly better tool this early on. I'm gonna take Sundra, roll, give me the proboscis, and I'll be very happy I didn't get the proboscis. I did get Stinger. Every 9 seconds, deal 5 damage and slow a single item for a single second. Yeah, that was pretty tough. That was not good. I'm not going to tell you that was good, because I'd be lying about it. Claws, every 4 seconds, deal 10 damage, and this deals double crit damage. I'm going to field that literally just to have a second adjacency to help me get through early fights. Oh, boy. There's a couple early fights where I might be able to pick up the proboscis. Might be able to fix it there. I mean, realistically, Pyro is the one that calls. We could try and pick up a... 3-second activating tool. That's probably the best part of it here. Lighter activating on a 3-second countdown, putting that next to a marbles is pretty good. The end of the first day fight is going to be scary. We've wasted a lot of money on things that are not really helping us yet. Oh, the sea in proboscis is silent. Thank you kindly. Also, welcome in, Wob. Considering the money that I'm lacking, Finn's Big Bite this early for some regeneration is nice. And I can't afford to go to Quixel. The roll is so expensive. I'm just gonna get closer to our level up. There are a lot of early fights that Sundra will just help me steal. Like, if my enemy is appropriately, like, just trying to shield, like if they've got an ATM on field or something like that, the Sundra will get straight through them. They've got a 30 damage slingshot with only 4 shots in it. Bang. Red envelope. Give me red envelope. Pip. When you offer me the level up solution, give me the red envelope so that I can actually fix this. We definitely win this fight. I mean, I could have told you that when we entered. We get to slow their weapons. The slingshot is not really going to do enough damage to make the difference. Especially against our regeneration. On. Yeah. Healthy Hoarder, get plus 35 max HP for each non-weapon you have. Critical Aid for healing has 5% crit chance. And then Strength, your weapons deal 10 additional damage. I'm not enthused about any of these, but I don't really feel like I'm in a position where I can argue and roll. I'm gonna take Healthy Hoarder for, at the moment, 70 more max HP.
Ready for them.
Do we think Curio's gonna do it to me again? Are you that mean, Curio? Are you sincerely that mean?
You see landfill, I see buried treasure.
You wouldn't do it to me again, though, right? Because it'd be even worse if you did it again. I'm fully giving in to this. I'm going to take the rocket boots because I like them.
Bazaar.
Why did I do this? I get 10 more damage on my claws before I leave this room. I'm sad. I'm deeply, deeply sad here. We are Pygmalion, so hitting up an early jungle ruins in order to get income is lovely. Especially before the end of day 2. Rogue Scrapper. I don't need to deal with Rogue Scrapper's shielding, because the Gianola bar has 2 charges and then it disappears. We would be permanently slowing their... No, I can't beat them. I arrived late. Did Rhapsody address the outfit matching the character skin? Yeah, it's just a little bit of low-key cosplay. I don't have a headband, so I had to go with the singlet. I feel like it has to be Coconut Crab. I don't think I can take anyone else out right now. Coconut Crab's gonna be easy, though. The Sundra will take the shield off of their seashell, which will also debuff their Crusher Claw. Hello, Sanosuke. Welcome, welcome on in. Break as Dysentery says, I feel like you could do a great impression of the guy that sells economy items to Pygmalion. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Prospero? Pygmalion, sit right here. That kind of thing. Give me some time. I gotta sit with his voice for a while.
I've come too far to let you stop.
Oh, have you not seen this before, Coldheart? What? There we go. What's the orientation that allows me to actually show my arm? Bronze tier item, 10% max HP. We're going to go for a bronze tier item. It's not going to give us proboscis. It will give us jewelry. And I'll settle for that. Swap it to the other side for the marbles. I'm like 100% losing the fight at the end of this day. So I think I need to start thinking about how do I recuperate for the next day after it. Like starting to store additional spare change. Getting some snacks. I don't think the snacks are going to be the option. Minceworth, small and large items. I couldn't even tell you what I really want from that right here. Marbles upgrade. A property to start working on? I'm going to take the 3 spare change and move on. I expect to lose this next fight.
I should warn you.
Hey, Mr. Roboto. Welcome in. They've got scaling damage on their rifle, courtesy of the Shadowed Cloak, giving it 3 additional damage every time it fires. It's firing every second because it has the haste. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get past that. We removed all of the shielding from your seashell and it didn't make a difference. A risky fight in a mountain pass would actually kill me. Because risky fights are anywhere from, like, all the way up to an enemy from a day later than you are currently on. And I probably can't even fight the day's enemies today.
Don't have scales? I can forge some for you.
Kev's Armory to try and find a little bit more offensive potential here. The Jabalian longbow is here, but it's also bronze. That's a long time to wait for not that much damage. But I think I might have to take it. I'm going to take the spiky shields, and we're going to try and see what we can do about this. So, I don't have real shield support in this build. I have nothing in this build. I gambled on the proboscis really, really early, and shouldn't have. That was a mistake. I'm not going to tell you that I'm happy about that. I'm just going to tell you what I think I can try and do from here on out to rectify the situation I put myself in. And that's up my damage so that I can actually take care of any of the PvE enemies. Save resources and set myself up for a pivot towards gaining shields. We can use the marbles and some sort of other interaction like model ship, skyscraper, etc. All the way up through fort to try and gain additional shields so that we can try and deal that in damage through the spiky shield. I'm not going to tell you I'm happy about it, because I'd be lying. Kina sells non-weapon items. Nufu's here. And the regenerative tincture gives 3 regen, which is probably the direction we need to go right now. Actually, Kina is bronze tier, so I can re-roll you if I desperately need to. Silk. Every 7 seconds, shield 10. When you sell another non-weapon item, this gains shield 4. If I picked that up and then sold a bunch of stuff, I could get some shield on an item. I feel like all the decisions I have ahead of me are bad. Sell the claws and seashell, pick up the silk.
Enough, friend. But I'm glad you bought this.
Pop silk. On the other side of the rocket boots from Spiky Shield, the idea just trying to be haste my ability to gain shield and then haste my ability to turn that shield into damage. Swap those two. Rogue Scrapper. Rogue Scrapper is surprisingly weak. If I gave enough shield to the Silk, I would be able to beat them. I'm going to give it as much shield as I can without selling cinders. So roughly every 5 point something seconds, we're going to get 22 shields. Roughly every 6-ish, we'll gain 5 additional shield and then deal that in damage. We get to slow down their barbed wire, courtesy of the marbles. So they're like healing 60 and dealing 60 over the course of 10 seconds. Over the course of 10 seconds, we're shielding 40. The thing is, I think actually Tempest Flame Dancer kills us. So I don't really know what to do about this. I just managed to finally get my office in order, Eric. It's much easier to do. Cold Heart says, the thought about this game that I've been developing, I'm not sure how I feel about the current charging system of the game. It almost feels like every build across every character in this meta at this point needs to build around activating charging as much as possible, which in my eyes sort of takes away from the fun of experimenting. I wonder what a version of this game would be like without charging, though that would obviously require a massive redesign of a lot of items. Yeah, it feels like specifically... I was having a discussion with Rito about this recently. It feels specifically like charge does have a place in this game.
All Jabalians are pacifists.
But the place that it has in this game makes the most sense as the character identity of Dooley, who puts together a bunch of different machine parts that then pass charge back and forth in order to kind of, you know, do something, right? You're like putting all of these tiny little pieces into a machine and then the machine starts whirring and going, right? Like it makes a lot of sense with Dooley. It's just, it's also every other character's identity at the moment. And the best things that those characters can do are those, typically. Like, Pygmalion, most of the Pygmalions I run into are running some kind of an infinite, and almost always the marbles, the yo-yo, the matchbooks, like, almost all of the time those are there. The majority of things that I see Vanessa's doing these days are using the Pearl and Turtle Shell and a bunch of non-weapon items to just cycle off infinitely as well. I like going for the kinds of things that allow you to avoid doing that, but we'll see how long that, we'll see how long my resolve lasts. Am I really gonna do this? Like, upgrade the silk? Upgrading the spiky shield is garbage. It gets 5 additional shield. Like, it's nothing. You don't want the spiky shield to be dealing its own shield in damage. You want it to be dealing the shield that you already have otherwise in damage. Upgrading the boots would be an additional second of haste to adjacent items, as well as when I sell this, it'll be an additional second of haste to the item that it gives it to. Rocket boots certainly aren't bad. It would definitely be a lot more damage, and it would help me. Realistically, I don't want silk to be my long-term shielding option. It's just here so I can survive right now. Yeah, let's go with the boots.
Moving up in the world.
Andy sells small items. I could certainly grab something.
I would never debase my wares by haggling. Ugh.
Hi, Dragton. Welcome on in. Bandages every 4 seconds. Heal 5 and shield 5. It's not nothing. We take them.
Remember, diamonds come in small boxes.
Toss Helm for the every 10 seconds, deal 5 damage, shield 5, multi-cost 2. I don't think that's good enough for us. Holiday would be a good activator for marbles on the other side right now.
Whoever said money can't buy class had neither.
So Holiday every 6 seconds has multi-cast. That'll double trigger the marbles for us. Yeah, okay. Sylvia giving me a silver item that actually fits into my build would change everything instantly. The Economic Seminar can give us Land Scraper, because Land Scraper is considered an economic thing, because it gains 1 value every hour. That's like the only thing I want from it. Alright, Sylvia. There's the marbles upgrade. more I try and go away from the build, the more it comes back. Coldheart says, I feel like a lot of the work charge rather is currently doing in other non-dually characters could simply be haste, but I also think keeping charge limited to just dually while it makes sense thematically would also create a balance issue. That's actually what happened. So the other characters, previously, instead of having charge effects, they would have, for a lot of the effects that later became charge effects, they would have just passive triggers. Like Pufferfish said, when you haste, do this. Monitor Lizard, when you haste, although Monitor Lizard's in the same character class. Yo-Yo, when you use an adjacent item, use this. Those kinds of things, right? They weren't based around charge, but those were even more problematic. So they got changed to be around charge for the sake of balance. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up going back in the other direction. Yeah, of course that happened to me. Of course that happened. Look, there's a cannonade and a flagship on the same field already. Already! It's day 3! It was. Andy sells small items, but the thing is, I really want larger items at the moment, I think. So I'm going to take the Lost Crate with the 2 gold and 1 experience. Middle sells medium items, and there's a lot of these that I want. Model ship comes first and foremost to mind. I'd love to go to the mountain pass, but I am so weak at the moment, I can't do it.
I'll help you find who does.
Textiles. Shield 10 and then heal equal to your shield. That's not bad in the build where I already have this going off. But I am not in that build yet. It's better shielding than silk right now. I do need to get rid of silk.
Just toss that on my back, and I'll trot it to your door.
Whoa. Yikes. I could take the vending machine and have 3 chocolate bars and spare changes at the start of each of these days. The only thing is I think I'm so far behind the 8 ball that I can't do that right now. Ugh. This is a little bit of a nightmare. The golf clubs will whack us.
Buddy, I've got work to do.
Those would be bad. Time to Tinker would actually be legitimate right now. When you haste shield 10, we have 2 haste triggers every 4 seconds because of the rocket boots. This is the only fight where I was even capable of building shield.
You're tougher than you look.
Do you want to fix all of my problems right now and just give me the energy potion? No. The answer was no, evidently. Argenta sells silver tier skills, though. If you have exactly 1 weapon, your shield items have plus 10 shield. Admittedly, that's pretty sick. I would have to remove my Harlody from the field, which I guess is fine if I'm going to put the Maltese tool on anyway. Alright. If you have exactly 1 shield, sorry, exactly 1 weapon rather, your shield items have plus 10 shields, and those shield items carry an additional threat.
There are a lot of steps in this staircase, but it's beautiful up there.
Kina sells no weapon items. I do really care about those, because shield? But I could also go to the docks, get 2 gold, and a shield item. Duct tape, when used an adjacent item, charges 1 second. It is a shield item. It's just not going to activate especially commonly. That said, it's already 15 shield. I can field that. Only the finest for you, Pygmalion. But Finn's Big Bite is right there.
Good food feeds body and soul.
Another 10 shield? Like, the effective specialist just across all of my items immediately? Yes, please. So the two most commonly activating items on this board will be textiles and marbles, because textiles is going to have a 2-second cooldown because of the amount of haste it's going to get consistently from rocket boot. Well, actually, no, like a 3-second cooldown because it won't get enough time. And then we've got jewelry on the other side, similar. And duct tape wants fast adjacencies, so it has jewelry advantages. Okay. It's all good. Mr. Grimes.
Are you sure?
Hi, Icy. Welcome on in.
I'm huge.
Oh boy. That's a lot of burn. Shield is very good against burn, but the problem is I also need to have a large amount of shield on me to do anything to my enemy. And the burn is just burning through all of my shield very quickly, so... yeah, I'll be biting the dust on this one. Good lord. I'm gonna start out my journey to gold by taking one step back to silver, just to really make it feel momentous when I manage to make it to gold. Hope you're doing as well, Isaac. Quixel sells small and medium items. I mean, like, most of the build that I need to pick up at the moment is small and medium, so...
How do you hugelings use these things?
The very annoying thing is that Crook it's good. Like, it might be able to fix all of our problems right now. Your medium weapons have plus 10 damage for each medium item you have. And then I would just be looking for medium items to fit into that build. No. Well, there's the Autobattler. Would have fit into that build. I'm gonna take the business card and leave. Good lord. Good lord. I'm just looking for shield-related stuff. Why must you taunt me? Oven mitts. Every 6 seconds, hasten home for 2 seconds, shield 10, and when you burn, charge this 1 second. You know what? I'll put the matchbox on field if you give it to me. You give me the matchbox? Now that I have oven mitts, a way to get haste and shield out of the burn, I'll do it. You can trust me. I'll do it. Gorgon Noble, I will actually be able to defeat, and it'll be funny. Hagurvian Rocket Trooper, you also have silver rocket boots in your store. Not too many other things that I really care about, though. Yeah, Gorgon Noble will be able to beat because she doesn't do anything about our shield. So I just get to build shield and then punch them in the face with it. We're just getting all the low rolls out of the way early. Exactly. This is why I sit at the table before a D&D session just rolling infinite ones in a row. Gotta get the bad rolls out.
I could use a strong arm like yours.
Petrifying Gaze. First time you fall below half health each fight. Freeze all enemy items for a second. 5 tiers fill to change. I'm going to take a silver item. I'm fishing for parts to go in a build. Kukri is not it. When you heal, this gains 6 additional damage for the fight. Tina sells non-weapon items, and most of the shielding items I'm interested in at the moment count as non-weapon items. There's the matchbox. I told you I'd do it.
Your aura guided me to what you needed.
All right. So oven mitts only haste a single item for 2 seconds. I can sell the rocket. I'm not going to do it yet. The matchbox isn't going off yet. Matchbox says when you use a non-weapon item, charge this 1 second. Everything except for the spiky shield on our board is a non-weapon item. So this is going to get a lot of charge. So it wants to be adjacent to marbles, which is going to benefit most from fast adjacencies. Eventually, oven mitts will go on board. Matchbox probably wants an upgrade. Oven mitts might even want an upgrade before it goes on board. Let me quickly check what the upgrade path for it is. We're actually... We now have something. We have something. I just need to survive long enough for it to work. Okay, yeah. Oven mitts charges faster when it levels up. Charges 2 seconds or 3 seconds for the final tier.
Good. Slow down. Breathe.
Admittedly, if Oven Mitts was capable of being on board, that's a lot worse to me right now. But as soon as Matchbox is upgraded, it's better, I think. Okay, we can now sell Cinders, just giving the additional burn to the Matchbox. Always knew that was going to happen. We can pick up ATM for the additional income. And I'll do it. ATM I'm also really happy to have a lot of the time just because it's a 3-second trigger for gaining shield, which is pretty quick. I mean, jewelry also does it at a 3-second trigger, but this is also a property, which means you can start getting hardened steel involved. Hardened steel being the skill that when you use a property, give all weapons +5 damage and all shield items +5 shield. Hey, Kovacs.
I'm so glad we could share this experience today.
Oh, textiles upgrade. Sure, I'll take it.
I can feel our energies resonating.
Washi Wally, the additional multicast, not relevant. Beehive, I do want to do that on some run, but some run is not today's run. Middle sells medium items. Admittedly, there's not that many I care about right now. Like, yes, textiles, but that's about it. I feel like unless I go up against someone who's like absolutely got no build together, I'm gonna lose this day as well. So if I'm gonna lose this day, I need to find some way to make up that value. I could either try and take a risky fight, which I'm on day 5. What does that invite the Lich into my life? I'm gonna invest in the convoy for some income. Eric, thanks for gifting a tier 1 sub to Dragtum. Enjoy your modes in chat and welcome to the Republic. Lefenfor. Yep, I think that's the best field we can field.
I should warn you.
I'm very encouraged to see that their record is also not sterling. Okay. They've got first aid and pulse rifle with cool LEDs all over on the left side of their ignition core just to charge it faster, and then a welding torch on the other side in order to do the damage to me. The Marbles is doing real good work slowing all of their small items here, but that's not going to be able to stand up to the amount of burn. Yep. Look. Today's the day we make it back. Oh, I mean, against the alternative options here, I will go to you middle.
Take your time. I'm pretty laid back.
The dog is there, but it's not useful here. I mean, it's just model ship, right? It's model ship is the only interest point here for us.
You leave it behind, someone else finds it. It all works out.
Upgrade your leftmost silver or bronze tier item. Oven Mitt's getting 2 seconds worth of charge. Like, it's much more important, I think, in order to upgrade our matchbox here.
Now that's quality.
Because that'll result in more charges that then would give the Oven Mitts an additional second of charge, effectively. Neocat Hero says, hello, not much of a stream watcher, probably first time here, just stopping by to say a big thank you for all the YouTube content over the years. You're very welcome. Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you for dropping by. Hit up the Bazaar. Whoa! Finally! We're there! Finally, I actually have the business card when I come to the BazaarCon event. This is so rare! Self-promotion. If you have the business card, gain 3 experience. I'm usually excited to come here to gain 2. 3 experience is incredible. Feel the power of 3 experience running through your veins. I'm going for it. I'm gonna field the Oven Mitts and sell the Rocket Boots. So the Oven Mitts now hastes a single item for 4 seconds. Every 6 seconds, it shields 20 as well, and when you burn, you charge it a second. Matchbox is here to also charge it. I have really wanted an Oven Mitts Matchbox run for like a really long time. I now just need this one to survive long enough that I can pull it around. Enclave Weeper is very weak. It's a very weak enemy. It doesn't do much about our shield, which leaves me in a pretty strong position here. We can see how well this Oven Mitts is doing. I'm pretty excited about it. Chakra says, going from playing the Bazaar to watching you play the Bazaar. Hello, hello, everyone. You can, if you have another window, open up Bazaar in the other window and do both at the same time. Wouldn't that be bizarre? I'll take an extract. I'm not going to do anything with it. Fortis teaches shield skills. Now, this is a kind of trap here. Because the shield skills you'll teach me right now are almost all silver. And the real shield skills I want start at gold. Speaking of gold, though, we'll go to Olin for the gold tier skills.
I am just a man who has lived a long time.
When you heal, an item gains 3% crit chance for the fight. There's also Minimalist. If you have no weapons, your cooldowns are reduced by 10%. I don't want to take my spiky shield off field. It's very important. Lethargy, all items have a cooldown increase of 30%. No thank you, I'm going to take the roll. And we found Building Crescendo. Building Crescendo, I think, probably will get changed. Building Crescendo is absurdly powerful. Building Crescendo. When you use an item, your items gain 10% crit chance for the fight. By default, they have 50% less crit chance, so the first 5 item activations do basically nothing. But after that point, you're gaining crit chance until a certainty of critting on literally all of your items. Now, this is specifically important in this build, because of how Spiky Shield deals with crit. I love this part. So if Spiky Shield has 100% crit chance, it shields you for 25. Wait, no, I crit. I shield you for 50. And then it tries to deal damage equal to your shield. So it deals 50. No, wait, I crit. I deal 100. So in terms of actually carrying through the damage, Spiky Shield deals a 400% crit. It's so good. Also, this is the most reliable way for, especially Pygmalion, but most characters at this point because of the way that charge works, to gain crit chance.
Your wisdom has
It's so good.
All power has wisdom.
Flex sells max health items. I'm not going to say that Lion's Cane, Globe, you know, any of those things would be bad. But fighting a deadly monster right now for us is probably significantly better. This is why I said probably. Time to lose the Lich. We just got like a lot more powerful in like we got a lot more powerful in the previous room. It's not going to look like it because the Lich is about to beat our ass off. But we did get a lot more powerful. See how the spiky shield crits? Actually, hang on. Hang on. My textiles is healing me. Hang on. Get going, buddy. I didn't think we could do it. Icicle. At the start of each fight, freeze an item for 5 seconds. Yes, thank you. I'll hold it. Whew. Textiles was just enough healing to get it through. Andy is here with small items, and it's really hard to turn him down when I have marbles and matchbox both desperately needing upgrades. Don't think I've seen anyone beat the Lich on this patch yet. So after the patch happened, I played like a couple of runs myself, just casually. On one of those, I beat the Lich, and it caused me to internalize, oh, the Lich is easier this patch than it used to be. And then I carried that into a couple of episodes and streams, and I tried to take on the Lich a couple more times than I should have, and every single time I wiped to it. So I've been like, wait, did I even beat how can I have even beaten the Lich before? What day is Lich normally? I think is it day 6 or day 5? It's 6. It's 6. Okay. I would have been very, very confused if it was 5. I'm also very confused at 6. It's much more powerful than that, but why would I complain? We're in a good position. All right, Andy.
If you have to ask the price, you can't afford it.
Brass Knuckles, Monocle, and Crystal Bonsai. None of those really figure into our plan. And
Something big and ugly. Go see Poe.
just the slate of weapons afterwards similarly do not. Get a silver item. I mean, you know, matchbox is on the table. Like, I'm not going to say it's common. I'm not going to say it's likely even, but it is on the table. 10% max HP is probably a significantly better idea, though. Anyway, give me the matchbox. Chat, does this slap? Chat, if I put two... Oh, I do have specialist. Oh, I can't put both of them on the same field because I lose so much shielding. Oh, that hurts. But both of them would be building crescendo, and they would both do that double crit. I think it actually might be correct, but it's later. It's after the oven mitts and the matchbox are going off, you know? Actually, hang on. It's worse than my bronze one! Because the bronze one has had buffs on it, and this one hasn't. So it's 20 versus 15. The cooldown is the same. The text is the same. Nothing about this board needs a change yet. No. Do I need to change anything's items adjacency? Well, I can see a world where Oven Mitts wants to be adjacent to the marbles because the matchbox is going off fast enough. I do think Oven Mitts is probably going off fast enough, faster than the textiles. That's me just saying that I think matchbox is at least going off 2 times in 6 seconds, and I do believe that is the case. Oh, I smiled at recognizing the name reference and then immediately frowned when I realized this Pygmalion has not dropped a match yet. That's a diamond tier fixer-upper. Okay, it's totally normal for them to have a diamond tier fixer-upper. Yep, there's the matchbox and the marbles beside it. Oh, they've even got the model ship and the bushel. They've got the build going. Yeah, they're gonna go off a lot faster than me and get a lot more burn than me. So that means I'm getting my enchantment at the end of today.
What can I do for you right now?
Mirkwood Bayou. Enchant an item with a poison effect. I mean, like, realistically? Marbles would do 1 poison. Matchbox would do 1 poison. It's either of these two. I'm gonna give it to the matches. The marbles, rather. Because I'd like to be able to maintain a different... Like, the ability to give this fiery or something else instead. You got 1 poison?
Getting hard to stay positive.
I know, Pygmalion. I'm feeling it, but we'll get there, buddy. Don't worry. I'm going to sell an extract, giving it an additional poison. Grandmaster sells skill upgrades, specialist, building crescendo, petrifying gaze. All of those are really good upgrades. I just don't care about healthy hoarder that much. Petrifying gaze. First time I fall below half health. Freeze all enemy items for 2 seconds. Irmasil's heal and regeneration. I do like heal and regeneration items. The only thing is, I don't want them right now. Ugh. This is really tragic. I'm gonna hit up the docks for the shield item. Brick Buddy? I don't have friends in this build. Radiant Corsair will be a problem. Too much of a problem for us, I think, unfortunately. That said, if we did manage to go to the Radiant Corsair and pick up Lighthouse, it would actually be... It would seriously make sense in this build. The Toxic Marble slows 2 small items, and it charges off of adjacency, so the Lighthouse would trigger it very quickly. It'd be additional burn for triggering the oven mitts. It's really good. It's just I can't actually... I don't think I beat Radiant Corsair fast enough, because it will gain burn on me. Is that true? I get to permacrit very soon. Radiant Corsair isn't that threatening. It's just... It realistically just comes down to the anchor. You know, go out in a blaze of glory. If I'm gonna lose this run, make me lose the run. Spyglass increased the cooldown of oven mitts. That's a tough one. That's my haste trigger. So their real damage right now comes out of the anchor. Their actual burn is not accomplishing that much. So as long as the burn keeps low enough for long enough that I can just crit them with the spiky shield a bunch of times, we'll be in a pretty good position.
We have no white flag. I burned it.
Give me the lighthouse, come on. When you slow charge is 2 seconds. Fiery Rebirth! The first time you would die each fight, heal to full. I'll take it. Double my HP bar? Sure. Yeah, Okay, so I think this is spiky shield becomes restorative. Yeah, restorative. Heal equal to your shield. Which is kind of like it having lifesteal. But it now also triggers healing effects.
Entrepreneurs don't take lunch breaks. Where's your hustle?
There's also Sirocco steps for more haste triggers for other things, like giving that to Matchbox to try and get perma-haste on the board. That has appeal, but the only thing is, after the oven mitts are going off correctly with the Matchbox, I'll already have that. This is a lot more survivability. I'm never going to field the other spiky shield at this point, so I'm going to sell it so that I'm less likely to get spiky shield offered as an upgrade. And then I'll hit up JJ's.
Come on in. Let's chat.
Piggles. When you want to fight, get a piggle. Every 7 seconds, charge adjacent small items 3 seconds. Eh. Not really what we're looking for. I'll take the bandages upgrade.
Do you have to leave?
Totally reasonable for 2. 5 additional shield and 5 additional heal.
Sad to say goodbye.
And I quite like pocketing the signet ring for later. At the start of every hour, rather, gain 10 max health, and you also have +1 income. Kina sells non-weapon items, but how much can I rely on you selling me the ones that I care about? It's just these two right now. Mountain Pass could possibly trigger a level up if I get the fight.
Make
Come on, Kina.
deals,
Don't
not
disappoint me.
war.
Jabalian Drum for giving all weapons damage when you use a weapon and when you use a weapon hasting. Ice Cream Truck and the Succulents. These aren't making their way into the build. Model Ship. When you use an adjacent item, charge this 2 seconds. That goes in. That definitely goes in. And it shields 20. Or rather, 30 for us because of the Specialist. And actually 60 for us because of building Crescendo. So we replace the 2 least commonly triggering items. Toxic Marbles when you use an adjacent item. Charge this 3 seconds. Great. I'll put the model ship between Toxic Marbles and Matchbox. Matchbox is triggering off of all non-weapon item usage, so it'll trigger off Toxic, the model ship, the ovens, and the textiles. Admittedly, textiles isn't great on this board anymore, especially because the restorative spiky shield is effectively fulfilling the role that textiles previously was. I could see the world where instead of textiles, I'm meant to include duct tape and bandages back on board. Oh, I think I like this. Alright. Don't just show me something incredibly broken that kills me. Like, let me actually play. I went real long way to try and get this build up. And now it's running. This thing's got juice, baby.
Big for you to steal.
First time they use a large item each fight. Freeze an item for 3 seconds. I don't have that. Dianosaur! No! It's gonna destroy my small items. I want to run this build, so I'm not mad about it. I'm just mad that it's not me on the other side of it. Do they have enough healing to survive the double sandstorm? They don't. I get to get reborn rather. Fiery Rebirth is absolutely going to save us so many times. Yeah, okay, I can't actually look at the stats of how many times things triggered in this fight because they were destroyed. Of course they didn't trigger. I mean, it's got to be handy for the small items, and it's for exactly the reason you think.
You've just taken the first step toward good taste.
Abacus shields equal to adjacents, truffle for increasing item value, slingshot, nothing relevant there. And again, buddy.
If you want cheap junk, go see Curio.
Pearl's dig site, dig for a free item. Admittedly, there are a lot of shield-related items I would pick up. I can happily replace textiles in this build. Nufu sells skills, though. I gotta hit up Nufu.
You have great potential. Let me train.
Like this, improvised protection. When you crit, again, we will be critting constantly because of building crescendo. When you crit, your shield items gain 10 shield for the fight.
As long as you draw breath, your training is
Build online. Mr. Tascari, a lot of his skills are related to income or to properties. Things that I'm not really that heavily involved in at the moment. What I think I probably care more about is Fortis' shield skills at this point, especially considering they are much more likely to be gold tier.
People say, don't get so defensive, Fortis, but I'm a shield master.
I could get 10 additional shielding by base. If you have exactly one weapon, your shield items gain now 20 shield from the specialist upgrade. Sharp corners, when you shield, your weapons gain 3 damage for the fight. Admittedly, that's not really that relevant to me. The more shield I get, the more damage I do. So really, I want my shield to reinforce my shield. And then, at the end of that, something causes damage, and that something is a spiky shield. Hey, Lissy. Good to be back. I think Specialist is very relevant. Just 10 additional shield across the board while I'm setting up the start of the run. Let's do it.
That's okay. I'll just keep training myself.
I love that guy. Burninator bot. Yeah, it's none of the rest of these. I'll take him on. Sharp Corners helps defend against builds that whittle away at your shield, though. It helps very little, I think. Oh, wow. The damage number on this bad boy is almost never going to be that relevant. Maybe I'm overlooking it. I do have a lot of shield triggers. Pile on every 3 seconds, slow 9 for 3 seconds. When you slow, haste 9 for 2 seconds. I do not care about that at all. Do I not care about that at all? Hang on, Raps. Pile on. When you slow, haste. Toxic Marbles. When you use an adjacent item, charge this 3 seconds, but also it slows 2 items. 2 small items. I think the main problem... is I don't have 3 spaces I want to take off board.
I paid for the express ship to get here, and now we're waiting.
I'm going to get rid of duct tape and holiday, things that I just know that I'm not going to use so that I can get a little space to work with here. But, like, Pylon will trigger perma-haste from my board pretty quickly. Which is kind of what I'm asking Oven Mitts to do. But it doesn't come with the additional shielding, and I have to take textiles off. Sleep well. I'm sorry this is such a late time zone for the Europeans. Wait, a match is good? Am I missing something? Yeah, they are. When you use a non-weapon item, charges 2 seconds, so it'll trigger off of every other item except for the restorative spiky shield, and then it triggers shielding out of the model. And also, the more item activations I have, the more crit chance I get because of building crescendos. So I just want items to activate really, really quickly. It comes down to how I do that. I'm gonna hold on to Pylon right now. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna sell it to Quixel. Why is your large items at +3 value? I don't care about the safe, the yo-yo, or the flail here. There's the matchbox upgrade. Alright. Thank you, Quixel. I'm gonna get rid of the Pylon for the extra 3 gold here. Pylon is also 3 seconds, which I think is worth mentioning. It is, but it's also 3 spaces, so it has to be faster than the other items I would have to take off board as well. It's faster than Oven Mitts right now, but once Matchbox is going off infinitely, which is very close to happening, Oven Mitts is going to trigger very, very quickly. There's 5 ticks in a single second in this game, so Oven Mitts will trigger in just like 1.2 seconds-ish. JJ sells items, and there are many items that I care about. Isn't it 10 ticks? Is it 10 ticks a second? Really? Good lord. Okay, someone else says it is 5. Well, I'm just gonna keep going onto the assumption of it being 5, because someone told me it was 5 yesterday, the other day. Every 0.2 seconds? Yeah, okay, so it's 5 ticks a second. Alright, Bouncitron, I can take you. Another meddler says, I'd like to toss in 7 ticks a second. I don't know, it just seems like a nice middle ground. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, our numbers get nutty pretty quickly right now. Forgetting which side I'm on. Oh, I usually invert my camera. That's what's going on here. I'd rather be ticked on than ticked off. That's the safe for work version of that phrase. 2 gold in the gold tier loot item. Get a gold tier loot item. I'm gonna take the gold tier loot item. What are the chances it gives you your marbles or a matchbox? 0. The answer is that it was always not gonna happen. Oh, they don't have a crown.
You do see these tusks, right?
I will say the uninverted mic arm goes off screen, whereas if your camera was flipped, it'd make it appear, yeah. Yeah, I'll probably keep it this way for exactly that reason. Mama saw! Eh. The infinite items are only here to increase the impact of my rest of the board, right? It's only here to give me perma crit and also to pause crits to scale my shield items. I don't need the infinite items. They're just here to get me started. It only triggered once. It doesn't even need to be on this board long. It doesn't need to be on this board long. Seraphina, you sell enchanted items. I'm gonna have a look.
Tidings from the Empyrean realm, and also merchandise.
There's a whole lot of these that I can't use at all. Shiny ice cream truck. Whoa. Every 6 seconds, freeze an item for a second. When you use another non-weapon item, charge this 1 second. It has +1 multicast. Solution, flip and invert your camera and put it in the top right. Make nobody happy. Turbo Bonsai. I can't feel the shiny ice cream truck. We don't have space for it. Toxic money tree, yeah. Yeah, I'll say.
Empyrean, time is an endless river.
Oh, shielded textiles. It has double shield, and it's gonna be gold tier now.
Use this.
Yay! Yay!
It was expensive.
Obsidian golf clubs and a deadly washy wily bird. Those are entirely irrelevant to us. Oh, I'm gonna be so thrilled if this run manages to, like, just pull up from its nosedive very suddenly and take back off into the stratosphere. Middle sells medium items. Admittedly, the model ship upgrade is really good for us right now. Toxic money tree just sounds like late stage capitalism. Admittedly, yes, that's immediately what I thought too. I'm just gonna go pick some apples from the toxic money tree. And then you come back old and withered. Textiles heard I was going to take it on board and we're like, hold up, chief! Absolutely. Right, middle. I think it's middle.
Nothing tiny, nothing huge. All about moderation. Oh, I think you're really gonna enjoy that.
That's cool. Hold up, chief! Take me with you! Just going for max impact here. Let's have a look at our resolutions over the course of this fight. Unfortunately, we didn't get the restorative spiky to go off again, but it would have done so for about 12,000 damage. Yeah, the oven mitts are definitely lacking. You know, I didn't have a strong opinion on face cam versus clean screen, but I will admit I'm not immune to the looking at the chat like it's The Office. I don't remember The Office. Okay, I do remember The Office theme. Alright. Oven Mitts does want to trigger faster, admittedly. But... what actually needs the upgrade right now? Matchbox will cause oven mitts to trigger faster. Same to the inverse. It's Matchbox, it's Matchbox.
Moving up in the world.
Curio sells bronze tier neutral items. That could include the Charmander pup. Charmander pup, Salamander pup. Oh, but Finn's Big Bite. Literally 5% max HP and just 10 shield to all my shield related items is still sick.
Bulk up, get solid. That's
Security center to get a shield item, gumball machine, or I could go to Bakun. Bakun, you have one item I care about in the model ship. That's pretty narrow. I guess you have economic items I could care about as well.
now that's quality.
Like a gumball machine could be interesting, but I probably don't want to collect it. It's silver. Hey, Dojo. Well, come on in. This is the Bazaar. It is an Autobattler. I don't have the time to fully explain the game to you in this specific instance. But we have 10 slots on our board. We fill those slots with items that have cooldowns and effects, and then they do things. My build in particular is really cool right now. It's based on exploiting crit chance. Specifically, it's exploiting the fact that when restorative spiky shield crits, it crits on the shield that it gives you, and then it crits on the damage on top of the shield that it gave you. So it does like a 400% crit. That's pretty much what I expected. I'll hold Globe. I have no problem with buying and holding Globe.
At any price.
Vandermolen. Do it. Worth selling small items here? Yep, absolutely should have done that. I didn't do it because I forgot.
Boring. I should warn you.
What's Globe do? At the start of the day, it'll give me 100 max HP. Ooh, okay, that's some damage on that board, but thankfully I have a lot of shield. That's an Icy Fang. It freezes an item for a second, and on top of that, it's got Coolant Leak, so it causes additional freeze. Anyway, I killed them.
Myself and I still
I punched him in the face with my shield. Boom, boom, boom. Even when there is no camera, I still do that a lot of the time when I say I got him. What the hell just happened? Great question. We came into this fight. The enemy had a very quick fiery Autobattler. Activates every 3.6 seconds. They got a deadly cash cannon. Seems like they were just trying to hit us in the face with big item. Ooh, they have a Diamond Fang and Icy Fang? That's so cool. Anyway, we killed him. We absolutely killed him. Because I have items that trigger one another consistently. Matchbox, when you use another non-weapon item, charges 4 seconds. Its cooldown is 4 seconds. So it fully charges. And other items that are doing things similarly. All sells large items. There's a regenerative tincture. I'm going to take the tincture. Just because I don't think the gumballs really change much. AJ sells items. Please sell me the marbles. None of them look like marbles. Even less so. How dare you look like marbles? Snow globe, T-set. It's definitely not T-set time.
That's okay. It was nice to see you.
Aww. It's nice to see you too, buddy. Seriously, seeing them perform Vertigo live was incredible. Veteran Octopus time. I mean, this guy, they more than doubled, in fact, his max HP, and he's still completely unthreatening. $18,000.
You seem like a nice person.
I love the overkill there.
Maybe too nice.
They got to activate all of their cutlasses once. Get rid of the small laser pistol to pick up the tiny cutlass, which I'll get rid of. Rukon teaches weapon skills. Reginald teaches heal and regeneration skills. It's definitely a Dira. It's almost always Dira. And I will even tell you, it's Shield Basher Dira is what I'm looking for specifically. because it means that the only build right now that really threatens me, which is a full infinite that can lock me down, Adira can stop that. Adira can... Okay, I'm definitely doing it more because there's a camera right now, but like, it still is involved in other circumstances.
I am not prideful. I simply acknowledge the fact of my greatness.
I like your shop. I don't like you. Emergency shield. The first time you fall below half health each fight, use your highest shield item. Not bad. Cash deposits. Your weapons have additional damage equal to your gold, and big guns double the damage of your large weapons. These are pretty low tier hits for us. There's shield bash. When your enemy uses a non-weapon item, charge a weapon 1 second. So the build that would be most catastrophic for me to run into right now, to my estimation, would be Vanessa. And it's a Vanessa non-weapon build, because Vanessa has the ability to scale between turtle shell, barrel, and pearl, and the fact that a lot of Vanessas these days have multiple pearls on board, it gives them the ability to scale their shield ridiculously. Like, they can survive the sandstorm for a really long time. While they're doing that, I'm gonna punch them in the goddamn face because of the shield bash. So as soon as they start going off and cycling, I'm gonna kill them with my spiky shield. It's gonna be really cool. We did it. We literally made it to the other side of this build. Void Golem destroys an item at the start of the fight. It's entirely possible Void Golem destroys the wrong item, spiky shield, and I lose. The mitts are probably the least relevant item. Yeah.
It's all about motivation. Fighting for.
That was extremely close. Kind of. I had Fiery Rebirth, so it took my first health bar, but I got to the top of my second health bar and then... I'm surprised. Caltrops always get me. Yeah, the Caltrops almost certainly would if I didn't have like a full shield and restorative and Fiery Rebirth. Void Ray. When you shield, this gains 1 burn for the fight. Admittedly, I don't actually care about that scaling. That's not relevant to us at all. Is it going to be destroyed in my inventory? Oh, it is! Void Ray was destroyed in fight and now appears destroyed in inventory. In a somewhat different build, Void Ray sounds amazing. Yeah, in a build where I don't have the damage, Void Ray is a really good way to transition this into doing damage. Gold tier item, gold tier loot item. I'm gonna go for the gold tier loot item. Give me the cooldown reduction right now. Admittedly, 2 additional burn is actually probably better. Middle cells, medium tier items, aerodrome. I'm gonna go for the aerodrome and just roll until I find a place that's really good. Ooh. Grandmaster, you can upgrade one of my skills. The only one I don't care about still is Healthy Hoarder. All of the rest of these, especially Improvised Protection, I would love to upgrade. Improvised Protection. When you crit, your shield items now gain 15 shield for the fight, rather than the 10 they were previously. Love that the Void Ray is just still there, just hanging out. Oh, nice.
Are you sure? Noticed I'm huge?
Got a dually to fight. It's going really well, Okumask. Yourself? Heavy race call. They're gonna slow my stuff. Oh, they've got shield bash as well. Alrighty then. My full freeze of their board was really good. Okay. I think I'm going to do well in this fight. Yeah, the most consistent trigger is obviously going to be the matchbox. They got some solid damage out of the Misfiery Isles in that period of time. They've got a Ballista on field, but they don't have a huge amount of haste triggers. Yes, Companion Core triggers Heavy Race Call. Yes, First Aiden's there, but like, when you have Ballista, the damage scaling and the speed at which Ballista can fire, I believe, means that most runs that successfully use Ballista focus almost exclusively on giving haste to Ballista. Like, it's just about that. And a lot of this board is not yet about that. Like, Missiles is good for charging the Companion Core. Bomb Squad's good. Race Carl's good. First Aiden's good. It's just, this really wants more haste. Whatever is causing the full or near freeze of the enemy board is MVP. Yeah, the Petrifying Gaze is huge, but also, it's worth noting, I had a full health bar after that as well. I could die again. Yeah, Void Ray turns back up to the party. Middle, give me the model ship, just immediately. Give me the...
What can I get you? I used to offer a free ride home, but people thought it was...
There's also Phonograph. Look! Look at this phonograph! Every time. Phonograph, the item to the left of this has its cooldown reduced by 50%. Honestly, it's probably way better than having the oven mitts on field. Like, just halving the cooldown of restorative spiky shields. Oven mitts right now is not... It's not doing it. It's a cooldown on the ship in the bottle thing. It's cooldown 4, and it charges off adjacent items in 3. So yes, I could just give model ship the cooldown reduction with the phonograph, and then these two would go infinite with one another. But they're also already really close to doing that.
Oh, delivery's free. I like the exercise.
Yeah, globe upgrade, please.
Bring it back. I want you to be happy.
Monster Ranch for a free loot item, and I'm looking for cooldown reduction. 6% cooldown reduction? Can photographic carry enchantments? Yes, it can. And it almost always says when you use the item to the left of this. It's a big member card for my big membership. .8 restorative spiky ray shield. Alright, Colossus. What can you do? Oh, my photograph! I needed that for some reason, I guess.
Believe you'll win, and you'll win. But not against me.
Void Ray's back? What the heck? That safe was empty! Did y'all see that? Someone call a detective.
There's no conflict, no ambition, no purpose.
Oh, okay. What? My Void Ray! Stop deleting my items! I need them!
Moving up in the world.
The thief came back for the Void Ray? Oh. How dare they? I earned that fair and square. Okay. The Phantom coins are back, but we'll lose the Void Ray. Fine. Curio Bronstein neutral items, but we're going to BazaarCon because I have the membership card. 3 experience. Woohoo! Mr. Tascari. We'll hit up Fortis.
It's the look on your enemy's face when they realize they just can't hurt you.
Specialist is currently a 10 additional shield to all of these, but heavy metal, your shield items have plus shield equal to 3 times your level. That's significant right now. That's 51 to all of them.
If you wield it well enough, a shield can be its own kind of weapon.
I'm gonna hit up Jules Cafe for 800 max HP. I don't know why, I just feel like that might be relevant. Okay, so I could get the model ship to be activating every frame, as well as Toxic Marbles and Matchbox, all activating every single frame. Or every single tick. Because they'll all be going infinite. I'm gonna do that. It slows down the resolution of the spiky shield, absolutely. But I've also got the shield bash to help me speed up the resolution of the spiky shield reasonably enough. They're a poison build, so they're gonna have a lot of non-weapons on field. That's good to see. Because it causes stuff like that. Have a quick look here. Yep, 18, 18, 19. Each of these triggered every available opportunity. After first resolution, of course. Shielded Textiles only got to go off once. But, because of all of their item activations, the Pearl, the Weatherglass, the Toxic Pufferfish, they did get the Turtle Shell as well. They did get my Restorative Spiky Shield to just punch them in the face big time. Shield Bash is the primary counter that's available to this kind of build in this meta at the moment, so I'm really, really glad to have it. Yeah, 810 poison is not enough when I'm healing equal to my shield, as well as healing equal to my shield on 2 items that are activating constantly. Kina sells non-weapon items. I gotta be honest. There's almost nothing Kina can sell me right now that I think is better than what I have on field. I'm just going to try and secure my 7th victory so I can get 2 chests here. I'd love to have 2 chests. Eating contest, Quixel. Again, Quixel, there's almost nothing you could give me. 150 max HP? Am I doing 150 max HP right now? Like, really? I gotta keep that. I gotta keep that. I gotta keep that. I guess I could sell Icicle, but I don't want to sell the business card. So yeah, I'm not gonna go there then.
How do you huge
Wixel, I'll look at your store.
things?
I'll have a look at your wares before
Buy
leaving.
something huge and then sell it to me.
Only thing left to do is diamond the spiky shield. Irrelevant. Spiky shield gets a very, very small additional amount of shield, and that's all it gets as you level it up. Let's go, district. Sell the restorative spiky shield, have it show up as diamond. Absolutely not. Oh yes!
Stop me.
Prosperity! Your shield items have plus shield equal to the value of your items. Oh, the build! The build! Could probably replace Texels with something since it's hardly going off at all. When it does go off though, it not only shields for a huge amount, it also then heals for double that amount. So in the runs where, in the fights where this is relevant, and those can exist, it would be some hybrid of like a burn weapon build or a poison weapon build. It will be valuable. Now you need the shield upgrade for the +4 value. You're right. Now I actually do want the spiky shield upgrade. Gold or diamond tier loot item. This option bugs out occasionally. It didn't do it this time. Gold eagle talisman. Ooh, Monster Ranch. Why don't you give me cooldown reduction? 6% for the entire board or 9% for just the spiky shield? I guess I could even go for the Vial of Blood. Vial of Blood would level me up. Yo! Vial of Blood would level me up. Level 19, I believe, is our next enchantment. Grandmaster sells skill upgrades. I could get my crit faster from building Crescendo, which I will do. Now it's 15%, everyone. Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right. Oh my god! We've got options. So I've already got enough crit chance. I don't need crit chance on this board. How does Oven Mitts upgrade? Let's have a look at that. Oven Mitts doesn't upgrade its trigger condition, it just upgrades its effect. Fair enough. Heavy something for slowing things is what people are saying. It's absolutely not. It's Guardian's Gorge. I'm not going to be shaken from this. Enchant an item with shield effects. All of my items with shield effects scale their shield because they crit constantly. So if I give shield to, say, an item that's activating constantly that doesn't have shield on it, things go wild.
My people believe in peace. Boring!
187 by base. Yeah, it's going. It's good. Oh, they've got shielded Caldrops! So they're gonna shield and deal damage every time I use an item. I'm infiniting. So I'm using a lot of items, but I'm also shielding while I'm doing it. Yay! Oh, it's so good. They had tall buildings, deadly pigs gym, yo-yo, radiant and lardle. They had a build. They had an absolute build. Shame they came up against us. I'm so glad this run made it to this side. It was a nightmare to start out with. Good lord. Eating contest, max HP. Alia sells weapons that I don't care about. Spare change is almost irrelevant to me as well, but I'll take it. Middle could give us the Lion's Cane or the upgrade for Globe. Literally just things that are passively giving me max HP, right? Those would be impactful. I don't think Oven Mitts ever goes back on this board at this point, by the way. I don't have a way to give perma haste to my board, but 3 of them are going infinite, and 1 of them is triggering off of Shield Bash. I'd like to get permanent haste on this board, but I actually don't think it's a necessary component.
Take your time. I'm pretty laid back.
Balcony. Property value to the left of this is double value in combat, and has its cooldown reduced by 30%. Weights and a grindstone. None of those for us. 90 max HP from selling a pinata. I guess it's better than nothing.
Oh, I think you're really gonna enjoy that.
I always forget the pinata screams when you sell it. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give me the void energy.
You seem like a nice person. Maybe too nice.
Eye of the Colossus. When you use an adjacent item, charge this 1 second. Phonograph. Reduces cooldown by 50%. Shielded Matchbox and the model ship do not go infinite because the model ship is slow. Dang. The marbles would, though. What if you phonograph the model ship? Go back to this. The Eye of the Colossus is still going to trigger slower this way. But you know what? I think we can do it. When do you do this if not now, right? Vortice's shield skills. Tiscari. Reginald. Every 2 seconds is pretty slow for destroying an item. Yeah, it's pretty slow. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Matchbox self-triggers. Matchbox self-triggers, or rather, Matchbox says when you use a non-weapon item, charge this 4 seconds. I'm surprised it doesn't say when you use another non-weapon item. I'm pretty sure the shielded Matchbox doesn't trigger itself. Can anyone confirm? I don't think the Matchbox actually gives itself charge. I think it still needs something else to go off. Yeah, the wording on this one's wrong. Usually it should say another. Because like when this is on board by base at base level, it doesn't immediately give itself 1 second worth of charge every time it activates. It would be stupid if it did. But because of that, it needs another item to activate consistently, and the model ship, when you use an adjacent item, charge this 3 seconds, will trigger off of the Matchbox, which then causes the Matchbox to trigger again.
Okay, is this
Literally, what is the counterplay to this? Put your head between your knees and kiss your butt goodbye.
People say, don't get so defensive, Fortis, but I'm a shield master.
20 more shield to all of my items? Sure.
I'll just keep training myself.
Destroying that Matchbox would do a lot? Yes. Yeah, that would hurt. Admittedly, it might be much safer to actually just run these two instead. But this is so much cooler. I think I'm willing to take the risk. Also, I think I'm less likely to run into people trying to destroy my thing right now than I'm to run into people who I need to destroy their things. All right, Meddler. There's an argument for this. So, without the spiky shield on field at all, I lose access to my shield bash. I lose access to the 20 shield for everything from specialist. But now the shielded matchbox can be on the other side of the Eye of the Colossus, so it will trigger faster. 2 seconds into the fight, the infinite starts, and all model ship, toxic marbles, and shielded matchbox will just start going off constantly. And then the Eye of the Colossus is just going to start destroying their entire build. All right. Give me another 1,000 HP, please. Let me upgrade a skill. Oh, freeze all enemy items for 3 seconds when I get to half health, please.
I should warn you. I am like other Jabonians.
Let's get him. I'm loading the gun. Oh, they're definitely doing infinite stuff. Oh, that's a ballista. Uh-huh. Damn, the ballista was the last one I destroyed. Wait, it's radiant. I can't destroy it. Oh. Oh, this is great. We're doing it. We're doing the Eye of Sauron build. Exactly the Toggy. That Toggy, rather. I'm so glad I kept my membership card. For a little bit of self-promotion. Give me a gold tier loot item. I'll get rid of the oven mitts now. That was a bonkers pivot. My head still hurts. Yeah, that'll be the effect to the Eye of the Colossus. Hit up a small tool. Magnifying glass. Leftmost weapon gets 30 additional damage. Oh. Okay. So the funniest thing I could do is go to Trash Titan and get the skill Juggler, which says when you use a small item, charge a large item by a second. So suddenly the Eye of the Colossus would go off immediately. Only thing is that's not very likely that I actually get it from the Trash Titan. It's too important I get additional experience. I can't just take the risk.
It's all about motivation. You gotta know what you're fighting for.
Upgrade your leftmost item or teach gold tier skills. Honestly, teach me gold tier skills and give me invigorating cold.
I will train you to
When you use your slowest weapon, freeze a smaller item. When you use a property, adjacent item get haste. Trader, for additional value. No thank you on those. There it is, Invigorating Cold! The first time you freeze each fight, haste your items for 2 seconds. Well, guess what? We freeze immediately. Oh, there's also Minimalist. If you have no weapons, your items cooldowns are reduced by 10%. That's a full second worth of cooldown off of the Eye of the Colossus. Admittedly, I think getting my my infinite to trigger faster, literally a full second faster, right? Because it gives haste to model ship. And then model ship will trigger in 1 second, which will cause all of the rest of them to start triggering consistently. And that happening that fast is going to make the full difference a lot of the time.
Every coin goes back to our community. We Sphinxians thank you.
I'm going to study for the additional experience. I think it's probably much more impactful than the other spaces there. Relax. Jules Cafe. Middle for medium items. Gimme 130. 1,300 rather, max HP, please. Quartz. Thing is, even if this is a shielding build, destroying their items will still be good. Oh, that's gonna be a... Ooh. That is not what I thought it was. And that's a Radiant Launcher. They froze a lot of my stuff, which was kind of annoying. But Lanchan's now their only weapon on board. That did get very close. I will note, we did still have Fiery Rebirth, so I had another health bar. Didn't Rebirth proc? Did it? Oh, I guess it must have. Because we don't have healing on this board. Oh yeah, it must have. Woo! That was a lot of damage. I'm gonna go to Mr. Tascari, and I'm specifically looking for the...
Other days a student, as it should be.
Reduce the cooldown of your property by 10%. When you use a property... I'm looking for the pacifist one. When you use a property... No, I don't have properties. When you use a property, no. 100 max HP for each weapon I have. I don't have those. Chocoholic, when you sell a medium or large item, get 2 chocolate bars. I'll take it.
Risk, danger. This is what we were missing back home.
They're diamond tier chocolate bars as well that we get from buying and selling things. So literally medium items are like value for us right now. Gosh, I don't want to sell those. But I will need to because of the briefcase. I'm going to sell the signet ring and get rid of the business card. Take the briefcase and sell it for 80 max HP, as well as a significant amount of my money back. Lumbos. 80 max HP.
Hey, when you carry my weapon, I fight alongside you. Use it well. Make me proud.
Great. I would have gone to Morland, but Nufu sells skills, though, you see. Specialist, Reserve Shield. The first time you use a large item each fight shield, you get 10% of your max health. 1.5k shield the first time I use the Eye of the Colossus. I can get better than that. Yeah, like, for instance, upgrading to 5 seconds worth of haste at the start of the day. Sorry, at the start of the fight. Yeah, we'll be taking that. Lodge asks, hey Raps, how much longer are you planning on streaming today? I'll be live for another 3.5 hours at least. 3.5 to 4-ish, around there. Prostrate Champion will freeze all my stuff consistently. You know what? I'm gonna go to the Trash Titan. I'm gonna give it a chance. Gimme juggler. Let me juggle.
Not all Jabalians are pacifists.
Alas, Emerald. Aerodrome sells burn items in half. No. I got enough to roll until I see a skill vendor. I don't think giving additional burn to the matchbox makes any difference here. Not really. Cooldown reduction from Curio. Do I go to Barkuin literally just to get max HP?
Oh, hello. I mean, welcome to my... I'll show you those stumps back home. I'm gonna be a business tree.
Every time I sell one of these medium items, I get the chocolate bars, and the chocolate bars for Barkuin sell for an additional +1.
See me close a deal. It's smaller than Quixel. On behalf of the Grand Society of Mister. Anyway, thanks. GSMM Manual, page 320. Don't let feelings blind you to profit.
I'm glad that I actually have some way to utilize my money here. I'm gonna level up before the next fight anyway, so I'll take the Jules Cafe for more max HP. A diamond tier loot item guaranteed. It's 12% cooldown reduction.
Did you see it, Quixel? I made a sale.
The Colossus now triggers in 8.8 seconds. Alright, Pogbash. How are you going to deal with the full destruction of your entire board?
Are you sure? Have you noticed I'm huge? My dreams are too big for you to steal.
Oh no, that's an Icy Atlatl. That's going to be freezing my items a lot. Okay, my items are starting to go off. They've even got Assault Focus, so they're slowing my items constantly right now.
Well, I guess motivation isn't everything.
We did it! Honestly, that's probably the most exciting run I've had in a couple. Holy hell. That's, just in case you were wondering, that's just under 200,000 shield from each of my shielding items. 100 activations of the Toxic Marbles in the shielded matchbox. 55 activations of the Icicle? I call BS on that. That absolutely did not happen. Oh no! Hang on, sorry. I actually have to, yeah, because of the thumbnail and things like that, I need to... This is absolutely going to YouTube. If you're there on YouTube, hello. It's good to see you. I have a streaming schedule. You can go and look at it in the description down below the video. And come hang out. We do stuff like this.
If the Elder could see me
I do sincerely pity anyone that has to deal with that ghost. That was a good run.